All right, this one's for TadCrooks. What's up, brother? The staff that are being hired right now at the Raiders, starting with Jack Del Rio, are probably finding the right thing to do. Jack Del Rio is probably the type of coach who they should have hired originally. This is the type of person who Reggie McKenzie should have brought in originally. A veteran coach with experience under his belt, a veteran head coach with experience under his belt, who understands some of the ins and outs of actually being a head coach and actually being the person in charge. Let me give you, for instance, of what the difference in experience makes. One of the first things that Jack Del Rio has done is gone to Mark Davis and told Mark Davis the gym facilities, the weight room facilities are inadequate. And Mark Davis has given him money, sign that check to improve their weight room. Now, for a team or an organization that's concerned about the condition of their stadium, as a fan who is concerned about the condition of the actual football team and the product on the field, having an inadequate weight facility, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you allow that to happen? McKenzie as the GM and the young boob who they brought in, Dennis Allen. How do you have an inadequate weight facility? So we have Jack Del Rio, who understands the totality of what needs to go on around the football team. He understands the stadium is nothing he can do anything about that, but he can do something about the facility where his players work out to get into condition to play football, and he addressed that immediately. So that's without a doubt a good thing. The fact that he has local ties and his family are Raider fans and all that, okay, well, that's wonderful for them. That's wonderful for them. But I'm concerned about the actual things that go into the making of a good football team. So that's the part that I'm looking at. Now, as far as the coaches that he's hired, and this also relates to bringing in a veteran head coach, is that he's someone who has relationships with other coaches. And so as we see, he's bringing in people who he's actually worked with before, people who he's familiar with. And I'm all for that because it's clear that Jack Del Rio is a person, is a coach who has a real hold on what it means to be in charge. And so the fact that he's in charge, he's hiring people who are going to work with what his master plan is, it's a good thing. Now, when Ken Norton was hired, the thing that I immediately thought about was the fact that Jack Del Rio had talked about the fact that he's going to be doing the defensive play calling, which, given his background, tells me that Jack Del Rio is actually the team's defensive coordinator. Ken Norton has experience as a position coach. Ken Norton has experience playing defense at the linebacker position. But Jack Del Rio is going to be the person running the defense. Norton will be the conduit through which Jack Del Rio's philosophy is carried out. And that's fine. I like the hire of both Ken Norton Jr. and Rod Woodson because you have two players who played championship football. And they weren't just guys who were on their teams that won championships. These were guys who were great players who were integral parts of championships. The fact that they went and got a guy, Ken Norton, who was actually a great player himself, when in my opinion the strong suit of the Raiders defense, and what it looks like their building is a strong linebacking core. Important, very important, and I like it. Now, C.O. Moore apparently has what may be a very serious injury. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have the information on that, all the information on that. If this is something that alters the trajectory of his career, that's bad. That's very bad for Raiders. It's bad for me too, because personally, C.O. Moore is my favorite player on the Raiders, aside from Charles Woodson. C.O. Moore is my favorite player on the team, and I see him developing into a great young player. I see him developing into a great player. Now, like I said, if the injury that he has is as serious as I've heard it is, then wow. That means, wow. But at any rate, like I said, and bringing in Rod Woodson as a defensive back coach, who could be mad at that? Who could argue with that? Who wouldn't see that as a great move? That's a great move, and it also shows the level to which Jack Del Rio is about defense, and that gives us something to look forward to and really hang our hat on as far as the prospects of this team's future on defense. There's no doubt in my mind at this point that Jack Del Rio, who's had teams consistently in the top 10, that's what he's going to bring to Oakland. So I look forward to that. Make any comments you guys like. If I see something interesting in the comments, and I expect to, then I'll probably address that in the next video. Until then, peace.